So, sorry for the slightly weird angle of this video, but I'm actually sat at my computer just now because I need my computer for this video, and this is really the only way I could kind of get it to work. So sorry about that, just because the doors are there and my computer is right next to them right here, so I can't put the camera on the other side because the lighting just gets thrown completely off. Anyway, you don't really need to know all of that, but I have seen a couple of my friends do videos like this. I think it was Angela from Literature Science Alliance who did this first, and then Abby from the channel Abby Salter also did this recently, and I think I've seen a couple of other people do videos similar to this where they talk about the series that they currently have on the go, and that made me curious to put together my own list of series that I have on the go. And I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but it was probably a lot worse than I was expecting. I thought, well, let me take you through it, because why not? So I'm actually going to move this again so that there's a little bit more space. So there's a little bit more space next to me here for me to put the spreadsheets up on screen, but I don't know how well you're going to be able to see them really, because they are quite large, to be honest. So let me open up my spreadsheet here. So I've broken up my spreadsheet into 3 sections. So I have series that I can continue, so that's series that I've started where next books in that series are available for me to read, and I've also marked where I actually already own those series. Then series that I've started that I'm waiting for the next book, and then series where I have either the first book or multiple books in that series on my shelf ready for me to start but haven't actually started yet. There's a lot of them. So if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm looking at the spreadsheet that I'm talking to you about. So the first kind of page, I guess, of this spreadsheet has 45 series on it, and I have actually marked by colour the ones that I have just one book left to read in that series so that I can prioritise those. And actually at the time I'm filming this, I can mark one as completed now, which is quite exciting because I have finished it since I put this spreadsheet together. So just so you know, green means that I have read the book already, and that kind of pinkish orangey colour is a book that I own that I haven't yet read. And you might be looking at the Inkworld series and asking yourself, well, Sophia, why is that on this page? Because clearly you haven't started reading that yet, but the reason is because that is a reread for me. I have read Inkheart before and I want to continue with the series, but I feel like I need to reread Inkheart before I can carry on with the series. So I'm not putting it on the series I have to start list because I have technically already started it, but I am still marking them all as to read because I do need to reread that one. But you will see that Red Queen, I have one book left. Curse Breakers, I have one book left, and for both of those I own those books. The Twisted Tree, I'm actually currently reading that the second book, The Crooked Mask, so by the time I upload this video that might actually be green. Wayfarers, I have 2 books left to read, but I own both of those. Ash Princess, I just have 1 book left and I have that on my shelf. Ember Queen. The Hate You Give, I am actually going to change that to completed now because I have since completed that. Then the last one is Fire and Thorns. I have The Empire of Dreams to read. Now, The Empire of Dreams and Ember Queen I do actually have on my TBR for this month, but whether or not I get to them in time is another question altogether. But that is my series that I can continue. So I guess I'll just run through them because I don't think you'll be able to see it properly on this little screen next to me here. So I have The Black Dagger Brotherhood by J.R. Ward, Symphony of Ages by Elizabeth Haydn, The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini, Lords of the Underworld by Gina Showalter, Inkwell by Cornelia Funke, the Cassidy Blake series, which I have now finished and can probably come off this spreadsheet to be honest, but that's by Victoria Schwab, Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, Broken Earth, N.K. Jemisin, Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel, Michael Scott, Isles of Storm and Sorrow by Bex Hogan, Red Queen, Victoria Aveyard, Curse Breakers, Bridget Kemmerer, Six of Crows, Leigh Bardugo, Shadow of the Fox, Julie Kagawa, The Twisted Tree, Rachel Burge, Wayfarers, Becky Chambers, Kingkiller Chronicles, Patrick Rothfuss, Girls of Paper and Fire, Natasha Ngun, Serpent and Dove, Shelby Mahurin, The Beautiful, Renee Adier, The Merciful Crow, Margaret Owens, Love and Gelato, Jenna Evans Welch, The Queen's Thief, Megan Wallen Turner, Ash Princess, Laura Sebastian, The Last Hours by Cassandra Clare, We Set the Dark on Fire, Taylor K. Mejia, Lost Queen, Signe Pike, Crown of Feathers, Nikki Palpretto, The Wayward Children series, Shauna Maguire, A River of Royal Blood, Amanda Joy, The Hate You Give, which as I say I've now read both of the books in that, but Angie Thomas, Winter Night, Catherine Arden, The Ember Quartet, Saboteur, Stormheart, Cora Carmack, Fable by Adrienne Young, Want, Cindy Pon, Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan, Queens of Renthia, Sarah Beth Durst, Healer, Maria V. Schneider, The Brown Sisters by Talia Hibbert, His Dark Materials, Philip Pullman, Circle of Shadows, Evelyn Skye, Gumiho by Kat Cho, and Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. So those are all of the series that I have already started and have to continue and am able to continue. And then the next one is a shorter list, but this is series that are ongoing or supposedly ongoing, but which I am fully caught up on. So on this one I have Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, The Founders Trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett, The Paper and Heart Society by Lucy Powery, Divinity's Twilight by Christopher Russell, The Dark Shores by Elliot Brooks, Deathless by Namina Fauna, Alex Stern by Leigh Bardugo, Poison Wars by Sam Hawke, Rhythmatist by Brandon Sanderson, Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Legendborn by Tracy Dion, Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown, A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth, Villains by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab in that case, and The Goblin Emperor by Catherine Arden. So not as many there. I am not caught up on as many series as I would like. I would like eventually for this list to be much longer than the series I can continue list. And then I have series I have to start, and it's probably worth noting actually that I have recently hauled quite a lot of books following my book shopping trip with my sister, and I haven't inputted all of those books on here, so this list is longer now. Great. But this list has 26 series on it, so I'll go through that as well. So I have Dark Star trilogy. Book 1 is the one I have, which is Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. Shielded, book 1 is Shielded by Kaylin Flanders. Supernatural Investigations, book 1 is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Heilig. Simon Snow by Rainbow Rowell. I just have Carry On from that series. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Hollow Crown by Zoraida Cordova. The Divine Cities by Robert Jackson Bennett. Shaman Born by Laurie M. Lee. Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Book of the Ancestor by Mark Lawrence. Seven Realms by Cinder Williams Chimer. Farcia by Robin Hobb. Gentlemen Bastards by Scott Lynch. The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. American Royals by Catherine McGee. Ascendant by Kay Arsenault Rivera. Sorrow by Melinda Salisbury. The Wrath and the Dawn, actually. I'm going to take that off because I actually DNF'd that book since writing this list. Raven's Mark by Ed Westwick. Malazan, Book of the Fallen by Stephen Erickson. And Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta. So, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's a lot of series that I have either ongoing or on my shelf to start, not including the several series that I added to my TBR this past weekend. So it is a little bit stressful, but when I mentioned it in a recent live show, people seemed interested in it, so I thought that I would just do this video very quickly, and I guess that I will keep you updated in probably my monthly wrap-ups when I'm making progress on series. I will keep you posted. But the thing is I'm not making as much progress on them because I'm trying to focus on reading a little bit more diversely, and historically my reading hasn't been diverse enough, which also means that a lot of the series that I've started are not diverse in terms of who the authors are, so it just means that I'm not prioritising continuing those series over potentially starting new ones by a diverse range of authors or just reading standalones here and there. So that's the reasoning behind all of that, but hopefully this was moderately interesting, and that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like this from me, then do think about hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks, bye.